What is good, YouTube, man? How is everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend. It is Saturday. Hope everybody gets to rest, relax, spend good quality family time. But Raider Nation, we got some stuff to talk about, man. I didn't go live for the whole Josh Jacobs thing. And we did get official dates for mandatory training camps coming up very soon. So we will look into that as well. There's a good amount of things to talk about. And I said, you know what? Let's go live with the nation and my members. Shout out to my members, man. We will be updating the new emojis now. There should be very soon the next emoji will be with our Super Bowl trophies in there, so you will get the Super Bowl trophy emojis very soon. If you want to become a member, the link is pinned in the comment section right there down below. So if you want to become a member, get some cool emojis and all that kind of stuff, you can. But if not, it is what it is. It's just a perk of the channel. But really quick, let's shout out to everybody who's already in here. For some reason, I can only see top to bottom right now. We got Omar, OG, Yoshi, Raider, Jim, my guy Big Murda, Chronicles, Anthony, Vincent, Tavio, Cisco, Swin. Shout out to everybody who's already in the building. But look, first things first, before we get into the mandatory training camp dates, I want to talk about something, right? I want to talk about something, and I know a lot of people were kind of maybe, for the super fans of Josh Jacobs, maybe were a little worried on what was going on with his situation. And really, I mean, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It was confirmed that he was at MetLife Stadium. He was the one that posted it. He was at MetLife for a commercial. As we know that he has multiple brand deals. I think he has one with Sleep Number, another one with Wilson. So he has a lot of brand deals and stuff like that, but that's what he was out there for. It wasn't like he was out there just taking a tour of the stadium. So I wouldn't look into that as much. I know without that news, without knowing that, it was kind of a shock. Like, what the hell is our running back doing in another team's stadium, right? So it was kind of weird at first, but it was confirmed that he was there for a commercial. And then I think he also stayed out there for a baseball game. So there was that to look at as well. Shout out to more people who pulled up. We got Ben Bad. We got Mudville. Kyle was popping. Pete, Desert Raider. Anthony Blazin was good. Albert, OG. Rafael was popping. Vincent. We got a lot of y'all in here. Shout out to you guys. But yeah, I would not worry about the whole Josh Jacobs thing. It was definitely a little bit confusing at first on what the hell he was doing there. But at the same time, I mean, shit. Let's say that he was somewhat scouting the scenario. That shit does not compare to our stadium, like, at all. It does not compare to our stadium whatsoever. So I'm not tripping, anyways, man. I'm 100% aware that our stadium shits all over that little raggedy MetLife that they got over there. But listen, on to the next thing, and that's we got some training camp dates. So I will pull that up, or I'm gonna look it up so that we can all see that. Training camp dates, as we all know, it will be in July. It's in July, and from there, July will go by fast, you guys. Maybe it goes by slow, actually. Maybe it goes by slow because we will be so strung up on the fact that the month after July is August, and we'll get to see some Raider football in August. So let's see. The dates have been confirmed. Shout out to our brother Raider Scout. The man is all over the Raiders news. So check this out. The Raiders training camp dates have been released. Rookies, quarterbacks, and undrafted free agents will all be due to report on July 18th. So quarterbacks, rookies, and undrafted free agents will all be set to report to camp on the 18th of July. Now, the rest of the squad and veterans are set to report to camp on the 20th. So there's a 2-day period where the new coaching staff will really just get to scout more in more depth with these quarterbacks. We know we got a pretty full quarterback crew. We have Stidham, we have Mullins, we have obviously DC. So there's some competition there for a backup spot and a third quarterback spot. Who knows if we even carry a third quarterback this year. So it is important to see that. Now, Something else, like I said, those next 2 days, veterans and the rest of the squad comes in on the 20th, so that's very very interesting to look at as well. When you look at the rest of the squad coming in 2 days, later. I like that because it gives these undrafted guys, it gives these young rookies a chance to get their name out there before the rest of the squad that usually is kind of already filled up. Like for us, we only have two rookies on the defensive side of the ball that we drafted. Obviously, the rest were offensive guys, and we have a bunch of undrafted free agents that I like the fact that they're going to get 2 days before the rest of the squad comes in. So very very interesting to see that. And once we get into July, you guys, I'm telling you, once we get into July, we're all going to be like fiends over here itching because once it's July, we'll know that in August, we get to finally see this team go to work. Of course, it's just preseason, but I'll do it preseason. I'll do it preseason. I need some Raider football in my life, man, and I know you guys do too. Wasn't he at the Yankees game? That's what it was. That's what it was. That was the stadium, or that's what the event he was at after. Let's see. I still think we can get a better back than Jacobs. DJ, there's a couple of backs that are set to be free agents next year, but honestly, I just don't think that at all. I don't think that regardless, this team will spend big money on a running back. I don't think that it's necessarily in our budget to spend on a running back because we're going to have a lot of defensive guys that are set to get paid as well. And we want to keep the young core on defense as well, right? We already locked up Max. So there's that. But a lot of our corners are set to ball out this year because they're all on contract years. And then a few years later, you're going to have Nate and then you're going to have Trayvon Merrick. So we want to make sure that we don't commit to maybe positions that we don't have to. But overall, man, we're going to be running a running back by committee, squad, scheme, whatever you want to call it. So I really wouldn't worry. But yeah, the whole Jacobs scenario was he was there for a commercial. Well, I don't know which commercial he was there for, but he was there for a commercial. Now, something that I wanted to look at, right? And now that we know the dates, now that we know that the quarterbacks, UDFAs, and rookies get there on the 18th of July, now that we know that veterans will report on the 20th, it's interesting to see, right? It's interesting to see that we have some guys that are injured, that are out with some injuries. We have Trayvon Mullen. He's due to have so expected to have his best career, his best year of his career, being on a contract year. He'll want to show out. You have Jonathan Hankins, who came back for a year. You got Denzel Perryman. I think he's fine, though, with health. And then you got Denzel Good. We don't really necessarily know what his health is at. Hopefully he'll be fully set to go. Who else is out with injury? Bilal Nichols was apparently had a small knee tweak. We don't know too much details into that scenario as well. But we need our guys to get healthy. So hopefully they could take this month to the ones that need a rest, really rest. The ones who really need to put in work. Well, let's put in a lot of that work. And it's a good time right now. I know it's slow in terms of news, which kind of sucks at times, as content for content for you guys. But hey, man, we gotta let our guys rest. We gotta let our guys rest. So we'll see. Shout out to my brother Kyle. He says, "You're right, Andy. This year is moving along very quickly. It is. It is. We are already halfway into the year, almost more than halfway into this year. So it is moving very, very quickly. Let's see. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, no content creators were going live. I normally used to go live with docs, like 3-4 days of the week. Let's see, but I understand. Yeah, no Reddit news, and it's not that we don't want to put anything out there, but we also don't want to get repetitive with what we're saying. We want to be original for you guys too, right? So some days I'm just putting out informational videos. Some days like this where I haven't gone live for you guys in a minute, where there's some decent news, where we had the whole Josh Jacobs thing, and now that we have these dates set in stone, I want to be able to discuss that with you guys, so I, I I would love to bring more stuff, but I hope that tomorrow I'll be able to get the Anthony Averett film session out for you guys, because the members of the channel did vote on Anthony Averett. He was the winner of the poll. If you want to be a part of choosing our next film studies, you can become a member. The membership link is pinned in the comment section if you want to. If not, like I said, it's just a perk. But yes, the members did decide that Anthony Averett will be the next film study. So hopefully I can get that done tonight for you guys. And then we'll see that tomorrow. And that should be interesting as well. You know, a good filler since there is no news. But let me ask you guys this, right? Let me ask you guys this. The undrafted free agents, they're going to be in the building first, along with the quarterbacks and the rookies. Which undrafted free agent, either defense, offense, will you guys think? I'm gonna let you choose one on offense, one on defense. Which undrafted free agent do you see making this year's roster? Now, last year, our seventh round pick didn't even make the roster. Our seventh round pick, Jimmy Morrissey, didn't make the roster. He got straight put on the practice squad, and then the Texans scooped him up. So, like I said, undrafted free agents, rookies, and quarterbacks all report to camp July 18th. Who do you guys think out of the UDFAs will make this roster? One on offense, one on defense. I would love to know. I would absolutely love to know. Now, for me, it's a little bit surprising, right? I'm gonna shock you guys a little bit. For me on defense, it's gonna be an edge rusher. It's gonna be an edge rusher. His name's gonna be Lucas Masterson. Oh no, he's not the edge rusher, is he? Is Luke? No, Lucas is the linebacker, I believe. Who the fuck is the edge rusher? Whoever that fucking edge rusher is, I think he'll make the roster. And then on offense, the undrafted free agent on offense that I think will make the roster will be Justin Hall. That's who I think on offense will make the roster. Those are my guys. Those are my guys. Out of the UDFAs, I believe those will be the ones to make the roster. Strongly believe that. Let's see. Let me see. Who is that guy? Let's see. Greetings. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat. Let's see. Lucas Masterson, I believe, is this edge rusher. Zach Van Valkenburg. He'll be the one that, in my opinion, I believe that Zach Van Valkenburg will be the guy on defense to make the roster as an undrafted free agent. And I think that on offense, it'll be Justin Hall. Ooh, no offense. No offense. I could see that happening. I could see no offensive guys making it. I could see us putting a lot more focus on the defense. I wouldn't be shocked at that. I wouldn't be mad at that either. Facts. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Mudville says Polamau. I'd be with that. I just think that with him, the only reason, like, I felt like maybe the easy answer is to say Polamau, but my thing is, I think that he'll be a practice squad protected player. I think that he'll make it on the practice squad for sure, and I think that he'll be protected week in and week out. A guy that we may elevate throughout the season onto the active roster for game days a couple times. That'd be a good shout. Isaiah Polamau, safety out of USC. Let's see, Myron Tango Vailoa. That'd be interesting for sure. If he somehow found a way to make the 53, that nose tackle out of Notre Dame, that would be dope, because that would mean that he beat out a lot of people. That would be really, really dope. The linebacker from ASU. Oh, shout out to my brother Graf in the building. The GOAT. Shout out to my guy. Yoshi was popping. The linebacker from ASU. Are you talking about Arizona? Oh, you mean Darian? Is it Darian Butler? Yeah, Darian Butler. You're talking about Darian Butler. I could see that happening. Obviously, he has a lot of ties to Antonio Pierce, our new linebackers coach. But hey, man, if he makes the roster, he would have had to impress a lot. He is a little bit undersized, right? But you know what? I'm not gonna knock him on that. I'm not gonna knock him on him being a little undersized, because honestly, one of our standout players on the defense that'll happen this year, I think that Jayon Brown will be a standout player, and he's only about 6 foot, so he's a little undersized, quote unquote, himself. So I could see that happening, Mudville, for sure. Facts. What's up, Andy? What's good, James? What's popping? Let's see. Isaiah, hey, a lot of people, a lot of fans of Isaiah Polamau. I'm with it, bro. We could use a safety. We could use a safety. Ooh, pause on what I'm about to say. But Raider Jim says Bryce Cosby and Justin Hall, both Ball State players. Pause again. Both went to Ball State. Bryce Cosby, Justin Hall. If you see them both making the roster, that's a little bold prediction right there. I like that. I like that right there. Andy, oh, wait, hold on. I didn't realize Antonio Pierce was that coach from Long Beach Poly. Long Beach Poly. Long Beach Poly. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he coached. I know that he coached in Arizona. I don't know if he coached in Long Beach before that. Let's see. Let's see. Facts. Show him the emojis, LV. Show him the emojis. Hey, like I said, Myron, where's the comment at? Shout out to May Spit Fire. Myron, that would be dope. That would be dope if he made the roster. I would like to see that. I would like to see an under the radar UDFA make this roster. I would like that. Yeah, Lucas Masterson is the linebacker at Wake Forest. Okay. Okay. Ooh, okay. I would like that. Wow, that's pretty high praise. Bryce Cosby is giving me honey badger vibes. Now, what I will say about Bryce Cosby is that he's a little mini Swiss Army knife, right? And maybe that's where you're getting your comparison from, Raider Jim. Bryce Cosby, safety, nickel corner at a Ball State. Like I said, he offers versatility. He could drop down into the box, play nickel, or he can play that strong safety, free safety look. He's pretty versatile, and I will say this: although he is also undersized himself, he could tackle. He could definitely come downhill and hit you. I like that a lot by him, and his playing coverage isn't too bad either. Of course, there's reasons why he went undrafted. I mean, if he was just so great at everything, they would have selected him. But it would be interesting to see Bryce Cosby like turn into this big household name. That would be dope to see that. But I don't know. I don't know if he'll get there like Honey Badger. That'd be dope to see though, for sure. For sure. But we'll see. Anthony, salute to the True King Docs. I heard you moving out to Vegas. Hey man, that boy making moves. That boy making moves. Let's see. Let's see. Exactly. Maybe not as good of that breed. Yeah, maybe not as good, but he's got some potential, bro. He got some potential. I could definitely see where the possible comparison was coming from, right? Undersized, Tyron Matthew undersized out of college. And offers versatility. I could see that happening for sure. Did you see Chandler Jones on NFL Network yesterday? I saw him speak about Devontae Adams. I saw him speak highly of Devontae Adams. And let me tell you guys something, right? Um, there's a lot of things that come out from these superstar wide receivers, right? Or superstar offensive talents, right? And a lot of the times when it's time for them to get paid, when it's time for them to, earn their respective money, they're then called divas for wanting to get paid and maybe going against the grain for what they want, right? And let me tell you something. This man Devontae is far from that. Chandler Jones comes in and he says that the dude works his ass off. He gets something wrong. He's not just saying, you know what, I got it, I'm going to do it next time. No, he goes and he corrects it, right? And we haven't just heard this from Chandler. Obviously, we heard this from DC, but we've heard this from a lot of the guys under him on the roster. We heard Hunter talk about that when he got his extension. We heard all this kind of stuff from Devontae, right? And if you look at it, Devontae was probably one of the only receivers in the NFL that once it became payday, once it was time to get paid, they didn't get labeled as a diva. You saw A.J. Brown start to get labeled as a diva because he felt like it was his turn to get paid. And, it's just so quick to change the narrative on these guys. But somebody who never got that look in terms of, a negative light was Devontae. And I'm glad. I'm glad that he doesn't get that bad rep of a diva because he wants to get paid. That's dope to see, man. And Yes, I did see a portion of it, LV. I did not see the full thing. Maybe I should have did that before I came on air for sure, but I was at work. Let's see. How isn't Sue a Raider yet? Look, man, there comes a point in time where businessmen have to be businessmen, and I see I see a good amount of people talking about how could Adamakin Sue be using the biggest fan base as the Las Vegas Raiders as leverage into getting a bigger contract. Now, um, do I think that's what he's doing? No, I don't think that's what he's doing because he was in contact with our players. He was talking with our players. And I'm sure they weren't just talking about how to sack the quarterback. They were talking about how to sack the quarterback with him on the same team. So no, I don't think he's just using the Las Vegas Raiders to get a bigger deal. Do I think that he is a smart businessman and understands that by going on national television, speaking to the media, yes, I think that he is boosting his price up. But do I think that he's using us? No, I think that he is boosting his price up. He understands that there's teams in the league, that need a good defensive tackle. The Vikings, the Raiders, the Dallas Cowboys, they can all use them. Now, two of those teams have no state taxes. That's us and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I doubt that Minnesota will land him due to the fact that they only have about 9.6 or 9.8 million dollars in cap. On top of that, their state tax is close to 10%. So he would literally have to get like 9.5 of their 9.8 in salary to somewhat earn around the same place that what he got last year. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But I don't know, man. I hope Ndamukong Suh can come to the Las Vegas Raiders. He has until June 20th, or I mean July 20th, to report to camp. So hopefully we can get him signed. Yeah, hopefully we can get signed. Let's see. I hate to say it, but losing Gruden was the best thing that happened to us. LV, I don't know why you would hate to say that. I feel like a lot of us feel the same way. Like a lot of us feel the same way, man. Shout out to my brother Anthony in the building, Joey Boy in the building. Shout out to you guys. Kasu wants too much money. He's not the same guy he was 5 years ago. Well, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but he's still productive. He's still productive, and if he's pricing himself too high, well, that's a problem. that's a problem. You'd be okay with that? Yeah, man. I'd be okay with that too, but there's a price tag that comes with it. There's a price tag that comes with it. Eddie says 93 Ndamukong Suh wants to come to Vegas at the best price the market will bring. I agree. Fuck Sue, he's playing games for too long. Trade for pain. Hey, MMB, let me ask you something. Trading for Deron Payne, right? Trading for Deron Payne will probably be a very, very good move. But I would then ask you, right? What do you have to trade for him? Because it's not what we want to trade. It's not like, oh, we could say, oh, well, Josh Jacobs, his contract up next year. Let's give him Josh Jacobs and a 5th round pick and let's call it. No, I wish it could happen that way. But trading for Deron Payne, there's two things you have to trade for him. So you're going to give up draft capital. And when you trade for him, he's also going to want to negotiate a new contract. So you're going to have to give up in capital, and you're also going to have to give up in cap space. Like both, you're going to have to give up immediately. So trading for Deron Payne, I would love it. But what is the price tag at that point? What is a guy like him going to demand? Now, he can get to the quarterback. He could stop the run. There's nothing there's nothing wrong with his game, in my opinion. Maybe he could be more consistent, but he could do both things at a high level. So I would love for that to happen. Do I think that it will? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But if you want to attack a team that has a lot of depth at the defensive tackle spot, it would be them. It would definitely be them for sure. Miami and Chargers are also spots for Ndamukong Suh. The reason why I don't think he goes to the Chargers is because they heavily bolstered their interior defensive line group this year. On top of that, he's going to get taxed out the ass going to play in LA. Now, Miami is a possibility. That would be an interesting spot, right? Because Miami has a very good defense, or they on paper they should have a very good defense. They got some young firepower on offense, but I don't know, bro. If I'm the Dominican Sue, I would want to go to a franchise that at least has their quarterback sitting stone. Like Tua, fuck, bro. Like he's not impressive to me. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe a Raider YouTuber. Shout out to you, my buddy. Says salutations, Andy. Sue got his egos hurt because we already gave him an offer. He's just using us for leverage. It could definitely be possible, man. Could definitely be possible. And let me say this. My brother Raid the tape. He dropped a video on, and he was talking about it on the other side of the fence, right? You know, we hear Dominican Sue and we just think the positive, right? He was like, hold up, well, without bashing the guy and putting facts forward, I'm gonna make a video about the other side of the fence, and it was actually pretty informative, right? He showed some PFF grades and that kind of stuff, some film, so if you want to check that out, Ray got a good video on that as well, on the other side of the fence of possibly bringing in Adama Sue. Shout out to Anthony. Says, don't get me wrong, Sue is the GOAT. Been sounding like a hater of Sue, but bro is 35, wants 8 to 10-ish mil for a DT. For DTs that put up 6 sacks a year, they get around that price, man. Like Larry Ogunjobi just got 8 mil to go to the Steelers. So we'll see. And Larry Ogunjobi's a guy that just failed his physical like a couple months ago, and he still got 10 or 8 mil. Money aside, Sue will be very disruptive in the middle, and it would make Jones and Crosby even better. Just saying, it wouldn't just make them better, right? It would make the guys below him on the roster better. It would make Matthew Butler better. It would make Bilal Nichols better. It would make Neil Farrell better. It would make everybody better. But let me ask you guys this, right? Let me ask you guys this. I would actually really, really, really like if the Las Vegas Raiders went out and said, you know what? Let me give Darren Waller his pay raise, and pending a successful physical, let's bring back Darius Philon. I would be all aboard for that. I would be absolutely all aboard for that. But remember what I just said. Pending a successful physical, you bring him back. I would absolutely do that. 100%. 100%. If he came in this building, he took a physical and he passed it, I'm doing it. But I still follow Philon on a daily basis. Each time he posts something on social media, I can see it. And it still looks like he's heavy into rehab. So I understand why the Las Vegas Raiders had him in for a visit, because they definitely understand that he's a disruptive player in the interior. But you got to be healthy first. You got to be available. Now, do I think that a lot of that will change within the next month before camp? I'm not too sure. I hope so, because I would absolutely love to see Darius Philon back in the silver and black. For sure. So, homie, when do you think we get Waller extended? Justin, right now I'm not too sure, because a lot of the guys are away. A lot of the guys are back out with their family. They don't have practice, or they don't have to report to practice until the earliest would be the 18th of July. So they got some rest. They got a rest period right now. They got another like 3.5 more weeks before they got to come back and really think football for the next 6 months of their lives. So I'm not too sure when that gets done. I hope that it gets done this offseason, or at least this year, in terms of like before 2023 comes around. But honestly, besides the time that Waller said that him and his agent had been in contact about it, there hasn't really been much of an update. And what do you think Waller's contract will look like? It's pretty simple. So this is what I said, and I think it's fair for Waller. I think it's 100% fair for Waller. This is what I would do. I would give Darren Waller a 2-year, $35 million extension. That's exactly what I would do. Now, a lot of you guys right now probably just said, what the fuck? Listen, hear me out, right? Hear me out. The reason why I say a 2-year, $35 million deal is because of two things. $35 million split in half is $17.5 million a year. Well, guess what? Let's bring that down a few notches. Let's do it more like 2 years, 30 million. Because what I would do would be out of the 35 million that you extend him with, you give 5 million of that to him now. You give him 5 more now. So his cap hit from this season goes from 7 million to 13 million. So you bring his cap up from 7 million to 13 million. And the reason why you would do that, or to 12 million, the reason why you would do that is because if you give him 5 more this year, instead of having a cap hit of 17 and a half for those following seasons that you extended him for, your cap hit is only 15. So you're saving $5 million in the future by just giving him 5 extra now that you have the space for. We have the space to take on a $5 million contract from a new player. Why not just take on that $5 million, give it to him now? He gets a $5 million increase. Then the contract looks like a top 2 tight end deal, because the top contract in the league right now is George Kittle. He's getting about 18.3 this year. So you put him just behind that, everybody's happy at that point. Everybody's happy at that point. I would love to do that. Love to do that for sure. Let's see. I want to see the Young Bucks play the 2 rookies, Butler and Neil Farrell, not Cleveland. I think the names are, yes, Anthony. I agree. Yes, that's his name, and yes, I agree. I want to see those guys play. I want to see those guys play. Let's see. Just want someone in the middle who can keep a QB from stepping up in the pocket and let Max and Jones eat. Agreed, Albert. For sure. For sure. Let's see. I personally think that they will wait until next year with Waller. He has 2 years left on his deal. He just signed and agreed to. No real reason to sign him this year. Well, yes, technically there's no real reason to sign him, right? But you got to look at it. This is a guy, he's in his prime. He's close to 30. He's at a position where it's not so easy to find a dominant player at. And if you lose him, it's a pretty big loss immediately. It's a pretty big loss immediately. So I know people would be like, damn, well, why is it such a loss? We made the playoffs and we didn't really have him for like half the year. Well, it's a big loss because you go into the season planning to have Waller, you plan to have Devontae, you plan to have Renfro. So you just got to look at it. Do I think that Waller's the guy to hold out? I don't really know. He didn't do it this year, so I wouldn't say that it X's it out of the future happening, of it happening in the future. What I meant to say, but I think that it's better to make him happy now than to be in a situation where these guys are going back and forth. He loses a little bit of morale with the team. He loses a little bit of love for the team because he feels like he's not wanted because the money's not right. So I'd rather just pay him now before the market gets reset with Mike Gesicki in a year, because Mike Gesicki is going to hold all the fucking chips in the basket, or whatever the fuck the saying is. He's going to hold all of that power over the Dolphins, and he's going to get a huge payday. He's going to want to get paid like a wide receiver. So there's going to be some things that get reset very, very soon. Very, very soon. We saw the fucking receiver market skyrocket out the ass this year, or this offseason. Tight ends are next, in my opinion. It's not going to be running backs. It's not going to be running backs, and quarterbacks are already getting paid $50 million, $230 million guarantees. It's going to be tight ends. It's going to be tight ends. Andy, the players we drafted, do you think will make this team and go to the practice squad? I think that ultimately Britain Brown will he'll make it on the practice squad. He'll make it on the practice squad. I think the rest of our rookies make the roster. I think all of the rookies besides him make the roster. And I think that he'll make the practice squad. So he'll still be with the team. He'll get elevated and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Let's see. Andy, you work for Bass Pro Shops? Hell no. I would love to work for them, actually. That'd be dope. But this is the bad part, right? If I went to work every day at Bass Pro Shops, I feel like I'd be fucking working at Disneyland, bro. Like, that fucking store is dope. I love that place. I could be in there for like 2 hours and thought I was in there for 2 minutes. So no, I don't work there, to answer your question. But yeah. Agreed. Well, get Sue or Phylon. We'll get Sue or Phylon. Hey, bro, what's stopping us from getting both? Now I'm playing. I would love that. Either one. Either one. He'll be cheaper now. Yes, I agree. I agree. Cool hat. Appreciate you, my brother. Very valid points. That's what I try to bring to y'all. Waller said he's letting his agent handle it. Exactly. Exactly. Show him the money. Show him the money. I mean, dog. I'm gonna be real. I was watching my brother Sanjeet's video, man, and he mentioned something, and I'm gonna ask you guys this, right? Because with this offense, we got Devontae, we got Waller, we got Renfro as pass catchers. So let me ask you this. Renfro got his money before Waller. Let me ask you this. When a defense is game planning for the Las Vegas Raiders, obviously they're going to game plan for Devontae first. Who is the defense going to game plan for second? Who is it? Is it going to be Renfro or is it going to be Waller? Who do you think that defenses will game plan for most? Devontae, who's second, who's third? Because that then tells you in which order you should have paid them, in my opinion. Now, Devontae got paid, Renfro got paid. But what Sanji said bring up a valid point. He feels like Waller gets more attention from a defensive staff standpoint than Renfro. Now, I could agree with that because Waller put 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons together. This was Renfro's last one. So, with Renfro having 1,000 this year and Waller having below because of injury, who do you think gets game planned for second after Devontae? Very, very interesting thought, man. Salute Andy in the chat. Shout out to my brother. Oh, we got a birthday in here? Whoo! Shout out to my brother Pacian. He says, Andy, I turned 42 today. That's a blessing, man. Shout out to you, man. Got to see 42 big ones, man. Wishing you many, many more. Hope you all the best, good health, everything. Shout out to Pacian. It is his birthday. Let's everybody get happy birthdays in the chat for our brother Pacian. Shout out to him. Happy birthday, man. That's big right there. Big 42. Big 42. Graham Cam says, that's a dope ass name. Graham Cam. Waller. DeMarcus says Jacobs for some reason gets the second look. Let's see. What has to happen for DC to back in Vegas? What you mean? Waller then Renfro then Waller. It's interesting, right? It's interesting, right? Happy birthday. Yes. Shout out to everybody in here throwing up the happy birthdays, man. Yes, sir. Shout out to Pacian, our fellow Raider brother, D-Wall. See? Sanjeet had a point, bro. Sanjeet had a fucking point, bro, and I didn't look at it like that. I didn't look at it like that until he said it. And that's why I like watching people, man. That's why even though sometimes I be burnt out, I still like to watch, bro, because it brings up valid points. And that's a fact, bro. That's a fact. Yoshi, yes. It will take 8 defensive backs to cover our receivers, tight ends, and running backs. Our line might not be good, but 5-3, I like those odds. I love those odds. You know why? Because I know that Colton Miller is going to hold his own. So then it more looks like 4-2. That's a fit. That's double teams. That's double teams. So I like those odds a lot, Robert. I love those odds, bro. Um, I really do. I really do. But you got to think of it, right? A defensive back doesn't really go to Jacobs, right? Like if you're putting 8 defensive backs out on the field, that helps us for our run game because that means that you really only have 3 guys out on the field that are meant to go up against um, offensive linemen. So I think that most teams will probably be looking at like I mean, it's gonna be really. It's just a fucking matchup nightmare, bro. Like to guard this team, it's going to be really, really annoying for these defensive coordinators. It's like, okay, do I want to stay in the nickel all game and let their offensive line get going and Josh Jacobs get going, or do I put an extra guy in the box and have extra linebacker out there? So where my front 7 is 4 linemen and 3 linebackers, but then I got a mismatch with Hunter Renfro on a linebacker, and he's gonna kill me. And then I have Darren Waller on a mismatch on linebacker, and he's gonna kill me. And then Devontae Adams gonna do what he does on the outside. So it's just really, really hard to game plan against this offense. Like you look at it on paper, it's fucking insane. Now, shout out to Derek Carr and the rest of the offense because they all have the same mindset. Where yes, on offense, this offense is fucking disgusting, but guess what? There's a lot more that goes into this offense. You got to put the work in. Everybody needs to know their assignments. Everybody needs to know where to be. Everybody needs to know whether, like last year, we saw Foster Moreau get killed because he was sitting down in the zone. Derek Carr thought he was going to continue his route. A pick was thrown, right? So everybody needs to understand the offense, the route tree, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of stuff goes into it than just having guys on paper. On paper, this offense fucking disgusting. I will stand by my statement. This offense will be the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL next year. It's just going to be too explosive. Too explosive. Too damn explosive. It's going to be extremely hard to stop this squad, bro. I'm being so honest. Like, think about it. You know you have a damn good offense when your only hole is, do we need a deep threat? And you still got a deep threat on the roster. You got Tyron Johnson, who's a deep threat. And it's like, well, damn, well, maybe we could upgrade. Like, that's how good this offense is, man. That's how good this offense is. It's so good that you talk about 3 skilled positions before you get to running back. Running back is people's best player on their team in certain squads. Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. That's their offense, and that's the running back. For us, we got 3 players before we get to the running back. This offense is spooky, bro. Facts, Kyle. AFC DCs won't be getting much sleep this season. Facts. Shout out to my brother Wasted in the building. He is in the building. Let's see. I can see the Chargers doing an overload blitz on the right side like they did last year. Mack and Bosa on the same side is going to be tough to block. Well, let me tell you this. May. When I look at that, right, of course, that's very situational. It's going to be extremely situational. You wouldn't do that on first down. You wouldn't do that on second down. You would do that on third down, right? So for my initial reaction, if I'm Josh McDaniels, I look at something that beats the rush extremely, extremely well. And that's what? Getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands extremely, extremely fast. So if you want to overload Mack and Joey Bosa, well, guess what? I'm going to run a screen to the opposite side of them. Because you essentially just took out your 2 best players. You took them out of the play by overloading them on one side. So me as an offensive-minded coordinator, I'm going to run a screen. I'm going to attack your substitute defensive lineman, and I'm going to just get a quick pass get it into my playmaker's hand, get it into Renfro's hand for a quick first down. I'm going to get it into Kenyon Drake's hand. Guys that'll make a play, right? So if you want to do that, fine. Now, if they do that on second down, if they do that on first down, well, guess what? All you have to do with one of the best quarterbacks at the line of scrimmage, all right, check to run. Run on the opposite side of that. Simple. Like, it sounds easier. It's easier said than done. But personally, that is extremely, extremely situational to put your two best rushers on the same side. Now, I understand it's a very, very high reward if you get it, but it's a high risk too. You're taking your two best guys out of the play if the team just goes to the opposite side. It's high risk, high reward. So, are they willing to take that risk against this team? They can, but you have a fucking offensive mastermind with Josh McDaniels, who got what, 6 Super Bowls? I wouldn't really do that. But obviously their coach is pretty stupid. So they could do that. They could do that if they want. I read somewhere that Nelly is getting cut. Could be the last piece. Bro, if Nelly gets cut and we pick him up, I'm sorry, bro. Fuck the playoffs. I'm saying Super Bowl. I'm being so real. If he gets cut and we sign him, fuck the playoffs. Fuck the wild card. I'm saying Super Bowl. Now, you add a Dominican Sue to that shit, or you re-sign Phylon and you get a dominant interior presence, boy, it's going to be a fun season. That's what I can say if that shit happens. Fun season. Let's see. Wasted in the building. Yes, the brother Wasted is in the building. Let's see. Yo, Andy, what's good, Bobby? How you feeling? What's popping? No, but for real, Robert, if that shit happens, bro, it's wraps. Over with, bro. You have your deep threat that can get 900 yards. You got Devontae that's worth 1,500 yards and 13 touchdowns. Renfro that's going to get 1,000. Waller's going to get 1,000. Jacobs, Zamir White, those two are going to combine for 1,000. Like, bro, this offense, I'm telling you, the number one scoring offense in the league without Nelly. Oh, like with what we have right now, I truly believe that this will be the number one scoring offense in the NFL. 100%. Now, a team that I feel like could compete with that would be the Buccaneers, right? The Tom Brady led Buccaneers. Now, they did lose Gronkowski, but they still got a good tight end under him. Pause. They brought in Russell Gage to pair in with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Russell Gage is a baller, bro. So we'll see. Yeah, this offense would be dope as fuck. Yo. Okay. Waiting for Gronk to come out of retirement, bro. If that shit happens, that'd be hilarious. Let's see. See Andy, what the fuck? Doc's YouTube community tab yesterday. It was a picture of Devontae Adams and DC holding up the championship trophy. Listen, let me tell you something. By the time those two extension is up, we will have another Super Bowl. We will have another Super Bowl. By the time those guys' contracts is up, we will have another Lombardi trophy, bro. For sure. It's just a matter of time now. By the time their deals is up, we will have ourselves another Lombardi, bro. And at the end of the day, man, where's that one?
Just win, baby.
That's what it's about, bro. That's what it's about. We need to make that man proud upstairs. We need to make him proud. We need to make the GOAT, John Madden, proud. We need ourselves another one, bro. So one Super Bowl by 2026, maybe two. I said at least one. At least. At least for sure. Ryan says, I heard next year's salary cap will be 3 million, 3 million plus whatever we have left of our 20 million this year. I don't know if cap space rolls over like that. I know that cap space in a sense can roll over, but yes. Next year we are set to only have $3 million in cap space. Now, look, the luxury and not okay, there's two things. Sorry, let me rewind. Having big contracts on your roster is two things. It takes away money, but it also leaves a lot of money to be created. With restructures we made because Colton Miller was under a big contract, we were able to make $11.8 million in cap space because of Colton Miller's contract. Now, we didn't have any other big contracts on our roster, so the only money that we made was off of Nick Witkowski, Carl Nassib, Corey Littleton. Now having Chandler Jones, now having Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, you can you can restructure these guys and you can easily make $20 million, $20 more million, and that will still put you in a good spot to bring in players. Now, you have to make sure that you don't do that every year. Why don't you do that every year? Well, because you don't want to make yourselves in the same situation as the New Orleans Saints, where they have guys like Ryan Ramczyk, their right tackle, getting $40+ million this year because of how many times they've restructured. So you want to make sure that when you restructure, you have enough money in the future, right? So you want to make sure that you're not in hell like the Green Bay Packers were, like the Saints are. So you don't want to continue doing that. But you can do it and do what the Saints did and get a Super Bowl out of it. But look at where they're at now. Their franchise is kind of in a fucked up spot. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. You do have a lot of room to make money, but you don't want to always make your money that way. You don't always want to make your money that way because it could hurt you in the long run. It could hurt you in the long run. Now, doing it once or twice in a year, it won't hurt you. Like, you could do that. But what Saints did, they did it with 5 of their big players. They did it with Thomas. They did it with Ryan Ramczyk. They did it. I think they did it once with Alvin Kamara. So they have so much money tied in with these guys that they just can't cut anymore because they're going to be fucking not on the team and they're going to owe them 95% of the money. So it's just it's a bad situation. And let me tell you this. From what I've seen, from what you guys have all seen in this very small sample size of Dave Ziegler's and Champ Kelly and Josh McDaniels, their new this new regime, is that they're not an organization that will do things wrong like that. They understood and they really took the monetary aspect of this game, and they understand how to work it, right? They were with the Patriots where, the Patriots didn't really pay their guys, but when they did, they used it to their advantage. They reworked contracts and they made some money, right? So we have a really smart front office, a very, very smart front office. The way that I look at it, we have 2 general managers with Champ Kelly and Dave Ziegler. So I wouldn't worry about the cap situation too much. But it is a good point to bring up, Ryan. But, that's why I wanted to discuss it. So, yeah. Plus, what they raise it. They raise the cap every year. Yeah, that's the plan, right? The new TV sponsors, multi-billion-dollar deals. It is expected for the cap to continue to rise. So, the more we win, the more money we make, the more Mark Davis will be able to spend, the more the salary cap will go up because teams get new deals and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Al Davis pushed money back and the reason in cutting Seymour and Woodson. I don't like this. So, well, there you go, Jack. Well, I don't think that we'll cut. I don't think that we'll cut any superstars like that. But yeah, pushing money back can hurt you if you don't do it correctly. If you don't do it correctly, it could fuck you up. Bad. Raider Friday says don't want to be the Saints. You sure don't. But the Saints did get a Super Bowl out of it, so yeah. But like I was saying, bro, near future, near future, we're gonna get that fourth in our trophy, and then we're gonna get that fifth one, and Niner fans won't be able to say shit. They already can't say shit, but once we're even, then they got no chance. Then they got nothing to say. I'll push that money back on the wrong players. Yeah, like we want to make sure that we're doing this smart, calculated, and make sure that we know what we're doing. And I think that this regime knows exactly what they're doing. So I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. But yes, Robert, they will also plan on increasing the cap as well. So it's not always gonna be whatever it is, 197 or whatever the fuck it is right now. 227, something like that. Something like that. It says I said this on SC Experience. I think the other day. If we can get Sue, the NFL can just hand us the AFC West. Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs about to get. Okay. Pause. My bad, Andy just needed to get that off. Hey, I agree, bro. I feel like it'll be a big problem for these teams, right? Like you have a Hall of Famer in the middle. You got a Hall of Famer on the outside, and then a young Max Crosby who will get to that point one day where he will be in that conversation again to the Hall of Fame. So you got some ballers. You got some ballers if you can get a Dominican Sue. If you could do it. How the hell does KC do it? I mean, you saw that they really can't. Like the cap hit lost them Tyrann Mathieu. The cap hit lost them Tyreek Hill. The cap was about to lose them. What's her name? Frank Clark. Yeah, Frank Clark is the name. The cap hit was almost about to lose him, Frank Clark, but Frank Clark, he decided to restructure and help the team out. So the Chiefs aren't really doing too good. Like the Chiefs really aren't. They have a lot of unproven with rookie wide receivers. So who knows? And they're gonna be right back in the same spot this coming off season because they franchise tag Orlando Brown Jr. But Orlando Brown Jr. says that he wants to get paid like the top dog. So do they pay Orlando Brown Jr. top money after trading them? After trading for him, like what do they do now? Like they're gonna be in a bad spot again. Like 50 million to it. Oh, man, like it's tough, bro. It's tough with what they got going on, but frankly, I don't give a fuck what they got to lose, who they got to lose. They already lost Hill, they already lost Honey Badger. Fuck it, lose somebody else too. Come on now. We'll talk about all the friendly contracts is not that friendly. Said it a tons of times. Facts. They can't afford a new stadiums. The Chiefs is sucked in. Then wide receivers aren't great. I mean, they got the potential to be, but Juju, MVS, those aren't great receivers. What they have as their rookies got potentials to be great receivers, in my opinion. Which is why he averages per career. What? How was Nation's family week? It was a good week. Went by quick. It went by quick. Let's see. Should have done guaranteed money. Was good, Andy. How you been? I've been great, Joseph. I mean, chilling. Just got off work. Decided to pull up on the live with you guys. We lit. We are lit. Well, not really, but because I'm tired. But yeah, you get the point. I'm happy. I'm excited. But let me get y'all's last questions in here before I head out. We already an hour into this thing, so last questions. Drop them in the chat right now, and I'll answer them before I head out. Damn, we had 150 guys with nothing to fucking talk about besides training camp dates and other shit. I fucking love you guys, man. Appreciate you. Hope everyone is having a safe and blessed weekend. Yes, I agree. I hope everybody in here stay safe, man. Stay safe. Stay safe, man. That's the big part. But listen, you guys, we over an hour in this thing. I'ma head out. Oh wait, hold on. What is the Raiders' next move? Raiders' next move. I'm gonna say this. I don't fucking know what their next move is gonna be. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I want to say Darren Waller extension, but I really have no fucking idea. I really have no fucking idea. Where do you think this defense will rank? I think that we will be the 16th ranked defense in the NFL. The 16th. The 16th. Time flies when you're having fun. Andy, great show as usual. Appreciate you, Kyle. Appreciate you, my brother. And listen, once again, before I head out, there's a lot of perks to become a member of the channel. If you want to become a member, the link just got dropped in the chat down below. So if you want to become a member of the channel, you can. If not, like I always say, man, it's just a perk of the channel. I love you guys anyways. And as always, please have a wonderful day. Stay blessed. I love you guys. And I'm out. Peace.
Welcome to the Death Star, where our opponent's dreams come to die.